It dumped some of the fuel, apparently, in an explosive blast in one direction, and the damage is far, far worse on one side of the gap.
Indeed, again. We're going to stay in the Washington area now because Claire Shipman, the House Intelligence Committee has just had a briefing, and I believe that Claire, you managed to get a briefing from someone in the Intelligence Committee to tell us what went on. Hang on a sec, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now go ahead.
All right, sorry, trouble with my sound tonight. What we were told from Democratic and Republican leadership sources on Capitol Hill is that they had a briefing, an intelligence briefing, a little bit earlier today from members of the intelligence community, including the CIA. In fact, the source told me they were surprised how blunt the CIA was with them at this point. We've also been told, it's interesting, Peter, even in the midst of all of this tragedy today, that there was a little bit of grumbling in Washington. Some members of Congress frustrated that
do something, Henry. Come on, do a trick.
In Washington, but the leadership says that they absolutely understand why the president was traveling around the country today, and that they have that the scene we saw on Capitol Hill earlier of bipartisanship was not an act, that it's very
Are you gonna bite
genuine.
Posky's paw?
The leadership was briefed 4 times by Vice President Cheney earlier today. They didn't hear from Bush directly, but they were very happy with what they heard from him tonight. They're planning to convene tomorrow to pass a piece of legislation condemning all of the terror. And it's not clear whether or not they're going to stay in session. They're trying to decide how much sense that makes and how appropriate it is.
Okay, thanks very much. Claire, we'll come back to office to talk about this a little bit, and then perhaps to talk to our defense analysis in Washington in just a moment. Tony, the skeptics just say, how they point the finger at Osama bin Laden.
Because it's easy, and we need a face.
Exactly.
We need a face.
We need someone to demonize.
Someone to blame, and someone to demonize, and someone to attack. And I think there'll probably be some grumbling from the National Intelligence Agency and others in the intelligence community that information like this was frankly leaked out of the House Intelligence Committee or out of the Congress. That's one of the big complaints
in like the
consistently.
next hour or so.
One of the reasons we can't
So,
trust the
are you
intelligence
taping?
community with this information is because
So you can just give him his bath and then you have to change his diaper.
I do think it does speak to something that we'll see happen in the coming days.
Before you go into coming days, I want to hold you up except this. Do you think, from your experiences in government, that there is a tendency to blame Osama bin Laden, even when there is not necessarily heavy basis on which to precisely point the finger at? Not only that Osama bin Laden gave someone money to someone in the country.
They finally did identify people. There's an awful lot of pressure from the people on the ground, especially to say, yes, 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 we have it. And you felt that a lot of people further back in Washington were saying, are you sure?
Yeah, I think the public is pretty actually wise about this now because we've been through so many experiences where we thought it was Iran, and maybe it turned out to be Libya, we thought it turned out to be Libya, and then the suspect was Syria, and it turned out to be Palestinians, and it turned out to be America.
And one other thing not to discount, Peter, I'm not suggesting this is happening in this case, but you always have to be careful. Those who are doing the briefings may have an agenda of their own, if within the government trying to build pressure for an action.
Target of any kind. She has the latest for us now, Edie.
Tom, I'm on a country road that goes between the towns of Lambertsville and Shanksville in Pennsylvania. And beyond all of these lights, you see the glare of the media satellite trucks. It is a very dark night here in the country, but it is very busy. About a half a mile to a mile or so beyond, just over my shoulder, sort of where you see all those trucks headed down, in an open field of an old strip mine, is where lies the wreckage of United Flight 93, which of course, as you all have been reporting, took off from Newark, destined for San Francisco, never got there. 38 passengers, 7 crew, no survivors. The debris here is spread. They're trying to gather evidence about it, which presumably means there may well be a case. What else is happening here tonight? Forensic archaeologists, according to the FBI, are gridding out the scene. Their main thrust, of course, is just to protect it, and they're trying to secure buildings in the area here where tomorrow they can begin to remove evidence, look at it, and of course remove the bodies. Tom?
All right, thanks very much. Dateline.
NBC's coverage of today's terrorist attacks and just